What is my legacy? I hope those that are out there in the real world, whether they're in football or whatever their life's work is, that they could look back and say it had an effect on me in a positive manner. I learned some certain things to survive and achieve.
Kevin Donnelly already had an impressive resume when he came to St. Francis in 1997, but he couldn't pass up on the chance to build something new in Fort Wayne.
I think that the football program when I came here was an opportunity to build a bridge to the community through sport.
That bridge leads Coach D into the lives of countless young men, each year these new faces helping build up his program. After a lot of success, the Cougars finally reached the pinnacle, winning back-to-back national titles starting in 2016.
It was so glorious to go out my senior year, get the coaches, my dad, his first championship at St. Francis. It meant a lot.
Wide receiver Seth Coate helped secure that first championship, and he's continued his playing career at the pro level in the Canadian Football League. Guys don't typically go to USF with that goal in mind, but Donnelly still loves seeing Coate play at this new level.
It's so neat because he's USF football. As a little guy, he'd paint his face up, have his hair all spiked up in blue, and he'd be out here running around as a ball boy. So he was like part of the family from the very beginning.
I think his words were, enjoy it, make it last. Obviously college went by a lot faster than I had ever imagined. He goes, this will go by even quicker, so live it up. Enjoy the moments, enjoy the people that you get to meet along the way.
Few pro athletes come out of USF, but Donnelly's program has launched plenty of coaching careers. Mike Brevard graduated from St. Francis in 2015 and took over a struggling North Side team a few years ago. Donnelly didn't sugarcoat that situation.
Want me to be honest with you? Go for it. He told me I was going to get my butt whooped.
I want to encourage him, but I wanted to encourage him realistically. It's a lot of hard work when you do that. And you've got to find a way to creatively reach, touch those buttons where youngsters want to become the best they can be.
When you're getting preached to, at the moment, it's just like, I'm not worried about that. But, here I am at the age of 27, working on my third year as a head coach, and everything he's told me back then as a player, is lived up.
James Betcher might have the most remarkable path out of any former Cougar. Betcher played for Donnelly and later coached on his staff. He now finds himself on sidelines in the National Football League as defensive coordinator for the Giants.
I didn't ever think I'd be a New York Football Giant coaching for the New York Football Giants. And I think some of the confidence that he instilled along the way early on, both as a player and as a coach, had a lot to do with that.
Coach D serves as a father figure to a lot of his guys, but it's special in Betcher's case since his dad died during his freshman year. Donnelly's voice mattered when Betcher abandoned his plans for law school to pursue coaching.
He says, I want to be a football coach. I said, oh, you're too smart for that. Go on to Notre Dame Law School. You're accepted. You'll do well. Coach, I want to have an opportunity to coach football. So I thought it was an emotional thing at first with a heart instead of his tremendous mind. But he really wanted to do it. He had a passion for it.
He said, listen, first thing, doesn't matter what you think about doing, you're going to be successful at whatever that is. And you just believe him because it's Coach D talking to you.
That ability to inspire continues on through each year with each new class of Cougars.
Coach has a special way about himself that when he speaks, you listen.
He's the type of coach that, okay, that's what you hang your hat on. You're going to use that not only because that's your strongest gift, but you're going to use that because that's how you're going to impact other people. And, taking what he taught me, that's what I'm trying to do here.
And there was a big bucket, had a few in the bottom. I said, that's you right there.
Donnelly centers his message as a coach and a man around the idea of filling your bucket.
That bucket represents your potential, but potential is an overrated word. You've got to fill it. You've got to do it with integrity. You've got to do it with trust, body language, effort.
You know how much you have in you, and a lot of people don't ever fill their bucket, and we were really focused on doing that, and I think that's one of the reasons why we were able to go to that championship in 2016.
The Cougars win a lot, and Donnelly enjoys every victory, but that's not the biggest perk of his career.
The most rewarding thing for me is to see guys that have been part of the program that understood how to fill their bucket, maximize their potential, learn how to have more we than me, and what they're doing with their lives.
The legacy of any leader grows with the accomplishments of those who learned from him. Coach D knows he's had an impact on many lives, but some of these former Cougars wanted to let him know just exactly how much he's meant to them.
I think the biggest thing I would tell Donnelly would be, number one, I thank him for being genuine. I've learned that in this profession, education, coaching, a lot of people aren't genuine. There's a lot of egos attached in this profession. And I will say that Donnelly's a genuine man.
Thank you for keeping me out of trouble. Making sure I'm there, 5 a.m. workouts. Holding me accountable, I think, is one of the biggest things, because we needed some senior leaders. Every year you got to have some, and luckily my senior year we had a lot. He puts his neck on the line for us, and I think we sure do that for him too.
Coach, thanks for believing in me. Thanks for helping me be more than I ever thought I could be in terms of my goals and dreams. Thank you for challenging me along the way. And just like all the other guys that have played for you, thanks for always having our back.
You mentioned that you can be like a father figure, but do you feel like a proud father
I
watching
do.
all these people?
I do. He's my little boy.
Any final thoughts what this means to you, to have these people out there doing such great things, such amazing things coming from here?
Sometimes you wonder if what you've done in your life is worth it. So, you get to the fourth quarter of your life, and you wonder, have it really been an impact? So that tells me, I guess it has.
It was another dramatic finish at Bishop Darcy Stadium as your number 7th ranked University of St. Francis football team held on for a 31-30 victory in the first ever meeting with Indiana Wesleyan. With 39 seconds remaining in the game, the Wildcats' 2-point conversion pass attempt was broken up by Cougar cornerback Chris Cawley.
Well, compliments to Indiana Wesleyan. They've got good players. Obviously, they've got support to have a great program. They did a great job coaching, and they were very well prepared. It was a perfect trap game for us after a big emotional win at Concordia, winning right at the end of the game on the blocked field goal, scoop score. And we came out flat. We started the game, we were flat. I don't know, maybe deep down inside, many felt it wasn't going to be that tough a game. But I tell you what, in this conference, you better buckle up each and every week, because anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So they started out, man, they jumped on us. Jamasic was out, Crable was out, Simmons made his first start at quarterback. So, I mean, we had a lot of adversity to deal with. Hats off to our guys. We regrouped at the half and came out, guns blazing, and got the lead back, and took it right down the wire, and made it exciting at the end.
And from the beginning of the game, sophomore running back Martell Williams was exciting the fans with runs of 17 and 12 yards in the first quarter. He finished the day with a career best 175 yards rushing, averaging 8 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns.
Well, I'm so happy for him. He's a wonderful young man. He keeps getting better and better and better. When PJ got injured, he really stepped up and provided what we needed. PJ is now getting healthy. We got him worked back into the game this past weekend. So now, I think we've got a 1-2 punch there of guys that can make big plays and get it done. So we're excited about what Martell has been doing. We're excited to get PJ back.
Yeah, we felt good. We wanted to come out and run the ball and just establish a run game, and I feel like we did a good job of that, of getting the O-line and the wing backs and everybody together. Taking what they give us, yeah, some plays might not have worked, but they were giving us some other run plays that fit better and were more successful.
The Cougars are also expected to get starting quarterback Matt Crable back this week. Redshirt freshman Simmons made his first ever start versus Indiana Wesleyan, completing 13 of 22 passes for 172 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception.
he performed very well. I think he was a little jittery in his first college start, but he made some great throws. One to Rixey there in the first half, vertical shot. He's really good at laying the ball out vertically. Going to a second progression, one time we had a call, a post from the boundary, and inside receiver drag from the field, and he had to go to number 2. And there was some coverage in the way, but he tried to place the ball a little bit. He just got trust your arm might rip. But I can't be too critical. I thought he did an outstanding job in a difficult situation. I mean, we didn't play well defensively early. Took us a while to dig in. We did a great job in the second half. And I think as the game went on, he gained more confidence, and I thought he did an excellent job. Feel very confident in his performance.
Coach is also confident in the play of linebacker Nick Lucas. The sophomore led the team with 12 tackles and is second in the MSFA Mid-East, averaging 10.2 tackles per game. USF held Wesleyan quarterback Zach Blair to just 165 yards passing, 55 yards below his season average.
Most of their yards came in the first half and the last drive. So I thought we played excellent. We did a good job, I think, in the third level, getting guys covered. Some mistakes we made earlier in the season. It's funny, opponents that we play, after somebody's had success 2 or 3 weeks earlier, they put that play in to see if they can get us as well. Ryan Johnson jumps out right away where we got beat on a kind of a gadget at Marion, and didn't happen to him twice, so that took a big play away from him. So, we're playing hard, we're playing well, we're getting better, we're dealing with all the bumps and bruises. Hopefully we get Jamisic back this week, so got to keep on trucking.
Williams is coming off back-to-back 100-yard rushing games and is second on the team in scoring with 5 touchdowns. He entered the season as the third-string running back and is now carrying the load for the Cougars.
Yes, I feel like I'm mature because in high school we kind of ran a wing tee, so coming here is really my first time being like a spread running offense. So it definitely helped me get better as a running back, but I kind of feel like I've always been like good enough to play. It's just now I'm just getting my opportunity. With this offense, it kind of does make me a more patient runner. I feel like I'm more successful when I'm patient because it allows me to wait for the holes to develop and kind of keep the defense on their heels, waiting for where I'm gonna go and just maneuvering through the holes. It was a tempo play. I think it was short yardage, so I was really just trying to get the yardage I need for the first down. But I was patient for the hole. I seen the little opening and I just took advantage of it and just scored.
Martell, along with defensive tackles Miles McClendon and Rob Brown, are all sophomores, and all came from the same high school in Lawrence North on the east side of Indianapolis. Being together has helped the trio have success. Miles is in his second year as a starting defensive tackle, and Brown has 8 tackles this season after moving over from offensive line.
It just feels good. It kind of shows like how we were in high school. We just worked hard. Like I said, our record didn't show how much talent we had as a group, but as individuals, we work hard. We want to be the best that we can be for our teams, and coming to an unfamiliar situation with all 3 of us, it kind of like helped us learn and figure out stuff like as a group together. Coming from a losing record, we was in a fight every week, and coming up here, we blowing teams out. Everybody gets to play. It was definitely different, and it was kind of a relief just getting coming to a different situation.
While playing at LN, Williams got some advice from a Cougar great, an All-American cornerback, Corey Stamps. After graduating from USF in 2014, Stamps started coaching at his alma mater, Lawrence North.
Yeah, I actually talked to Stamps a lot. Now he's working at my elementary school I went to, so I kind of went up there, met with some of my old teachers and him, and just talking about like what would be best, will it fit me, just what to expect and stuff like that. So yeah, he kind of gave me some tips and stuff to look forward to coming here. So yeah, it helped. When you come, it's a winning program. You just gotta come with a winner's mentality. You got a new fresh start from LN, so you just go out there and work hard and focus on school.
But for now, the focus is on number 18th ranked Siena Heights. The Saints are 6-1 on the season and bring with them the NAIA's number 1 ranked defense, giving up just 8.3 points per game, and the number 6th ranked rush defense. They're led by running back Caleb Jefferson, who averages 100 yards rushing per game, and linebacker Cole Merlin, who averages 10.3 tackles per game.
Yeah, they are. They are number 1 in the country in scoring defense. They are big and strong at the line of scrimmage. They play a lot of people. They're great athletically in the back end. They do a good job. They are very well coached. Have a lot of respect for them. They graduated a number of kids from last year, but they kind of keep on coming, defensively. They've got some guys. So we know we're going to be challenged, and we got to get ourselves prepared this week and get ready to go.
Like you said, they're a good run defense. They're just a good defense overall, so I have to say we need to just not get away from our game and just continue doing what we've been doing, try to establish a good run game, and get our receivers involved a little bit more. And I feel like if we can do that, we'll be successful.
Welcome in, everybody, to Bishop Darcy Stadium for another top 25 matchup between your University of St. Francis Cougars, number 6 in the country, entering today with a 5-1 overall record, 2-1 in MSFA Mid-East League play. They'll be hosting the Siena Heights Saints. The Saints come in with a 6-1 overall record, 2-1 in MSFA Mid-East play. Siena Heights ranked number 18 in the country. Their only loss this year came at Concordia out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, where they lost 10-7 on a last-second pass by Concordia quarterback Peter Morrison. So very easily, the Siena Heights Saints team could be undefeated. Entering today, though, the Saints are the number 1 ranked defense in the country, averaging just 8.3 points per game. Today is senior day here at Darcy Stadium. So we're going to get ready to honor our seniors as they'll all be called out. So it looks like we're going to start with the cheerleaders, and we have some of the marching band. Another really good senior class here at University of St. Francis. Of course, led by James Jamasic, the defensive end from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Carroll High School. Jamasic, with 7.5 sacks already on the season, ranks him number 6 in the country. We'll turn it over to Jim Shovelin, our public address announcer.
First, the band members. Emily Napier with Rachel and Darren Skaggs. Holly Zimmerman with Judith Ballman, Todd, and Jennifer Zimmerman. Ladies and gentlemen, on to the cheerleaders. Claire Manning with David and Cecilia Manning. Madison Miller with Time and Janelle Miller. Megan Roy with Cameron Roy. And Sierra Tipman with Tim and Natalie Tipman. We would also at this time like to recognize our senior trainer, Summer Saylor, with Gary and Amy Saylor. Now for the senior members of the University of St. Francis football team. Number 6, Rocky James, with Ricardo and Roxanne James, Helen and Carrera.
That's your spot.
Number 7, Dan Rixey, with Jenny, Kevin, Joe Rixey, Don and Rebecca Fry. Number 12, Danny Naylor, with Shelley and Dan Grabowski. Number 14, Clay Cenarius, with Michael and Tiffany, Macy, Greta Cenarius. Number 20, Blake Schumacher, with John and Susie Schumacher and Gabrielle Schumacher. Number 21, Ryan Johnson, with Rodney and Danielle Johnson, Olivia Johnson. Number 25, Jack Gibbons, with Travis and Stacy Gibbons. Number 28, PJ Dean, with Georgia Dean and Victoria Dancer. Number 34, Nick Brickens, with Michael and Darcy Brickens. Number 40, Christian Vela, with Martin and Deanna Vela. Number 42, Joe Nepper, with Jim and Jen Nepper. Number 57, John Doherty, with Mike and Donna and Colleen Doherty. Number 58, Nick Shoemaker, with James and Tammy Shoemaker. Number 73, Quinn Zaire, with his family members. Number 89, Brock Riley, with Tony and Ingrid Riley. Number 94, Matt Swartz, with Matt and Lucy Swartz. Number 97, James Jamasich, with Jim and Barb Jamasich. And number 45, Devin Green, with Dana Green, Griffin Green, and Dom Duke. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and applaud your 2019 senior class.
And folks, there you are, the 2019 Cougar football seniors. Once again, another great class. This is a class that went to 2 national championship games, a semifinal last year in Sioux City, Iowa against Morningside. And this year, another strong campaign. Once again, the only loss so far on the season for St. Francis was at number 6 Marion, 28-10 in Indianapolis, Indiana. Marion has moved up the charts. They are now ranked number 3 in the country. Morningside, last year's national champions, still ranked number 1. They are an impressive-looking team. And ranked number 2 in the NAIA Top 25 is Kansas Wesleyan. Marion at 3, Grandview out of Iowa comes in at number 4 with a 7-0 record. You'll remember Grandview last year came to Bishop Darcy Stadium in the playoffs, and the Cougars just rolling through the Grandview Vikings. And at number 5 is Northwestern out of Iowa, and your Cougars moving up one spot to number 6 after that big victory against Indiana Wesleyan last week. And what a game it was. Wesleyan scoring inside 1 minute left to play in the game. The score was 31-30. And the Wildcats went out for a 2-point attempt, and it was broken up by cornerback Chris Colley. So the captain's taking the field. Now you have John Doherty to your left, number 57. Number 21's Ryan Johnson. Number 6, Rocky James. And number 94, Matt Schwartz. For Siena Heights, it's number 4. That'd be Jared Jordan, a running back, redshirt sophomore. Number 11, Hayden Lehman. No, actually, that's Cole Merlin, the linebacker, the sophomore that leads the team in tackles. Merlin's 6'2", 205 from Salina, Ohio. Number 7 for the Saints, Trenton Morrow, a junior defensive back, 6'4", 195 out of Norwalk, Ohio. And big number 51, Jax Gassaway, an offensive lineman, redshirt sophomore at 6'3", 230 pounds. Last week, redshirt freshman Heath Simmons got his first start for the Cougars and guided the Cougars back from a 14-0 deficit to beat Indiana Wesleyan in his first ever start. This week, the Cougars will return starting quarterback Matt Crable. Matt entering today with a 150.1 QB efficiency that ranks him number 12 in the country, while averaging 191.8 yards per game. That ranks him number 32 in the country. So the Cougars will receive to start off this game, and back to return it is number 37, Mike Adams, the freshman out of Ben Davis High School, Indianapolis, Indiana. Casey Call and Nick Brickens are your up men. Nick Lucas and Jay Seagal ahead of them. And on the front line, we have Jackson Long, River Walsh, Damon Hunter, Christian Vella, Jack Givens, and Emmanuel Davis. So Emmanuel Davis and River Walsh, two outstanding freshman linebackers here. A lot was made with graduating Marcus Stepp, along with Pearson Harnish and Eric Dutton, but there are a trio of linebackers along with Dakari Jones, the freshman, that are really shining early on in this season. So to kick it off here for the Saints, that will be number 44, Anthony Secchi, a redshirt sophomore, 5'9", 170 out of Sterling Heights, Michigan. This Siena Heights team is known for their defense and coming in the number 1 ranked defense in the country. Seems like year in and year out, they graduate great defensive players and just reload. Concordia out of Ann Arbor, Michigan also produces a strong defense year in, year out. So something about the Wolverine State and being able to play defense, because these boys can do it. 15 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter, with Adams set back to return it. He had a 42-yard return last week against Indiana Wesleyan, and this one's going to be gathered at the 4-yard line. Adams following his block, goes outside, has Casey Call with the wall there. Beautiful block as Casey holds that block all the way to the 44-yard line. Mike Adams going to be pushed out at about the 38. Excuse me, no, he's pushed out at the 34. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. And it's Matt Crable, the junior quarterback, coming out for your Cougars. Martell Williams will be the running back. He was featured this week in the Kevin Donnelly show. Matt Crable, a junior quarterback, 6'4", 235 pounds. And his first pass is going to be picked off. That's an interception by number 31, Nick Stallworth, the linebacker. a junior at 6 foot 220. So one pass, one interception here. We're 10 seconds into this game, and good field position for Siena Heights. Siena Heights will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. So Nick Stallworth, the junior. Your quarterback here for the Saints is Tyler Neck. He ranks number 9 in the country with a QB efficiency of 158.3. He's out of the shotgun, and off to his right, Caleb Jefferson, the star running back. Swing pass and met right away the tackle by Blake Schumacher. Receiving that ball for the Saints was number 14, Justin Carabino, a redshirt junior, 5'8", 170 out of Monroe, Michigan. Back there at QB is Gabe Callery. Not sure if that's right. He's listed as a DB, but that is number 10 in the backfield. Once again, entering today, Caleb Jefferson, the lead running back for Siena Heights. Maybe the D was supposed to be an R. 14:10 on the clock, the handoff. And that is Caleb Jefferson. He's going to be stood up by number 16, Andrew McCormick. McCormick had another great game last week for your Cougars against Indiana Wesleyan. Started the season as a quarterback as he transferred in from Indiana State last semester. McCormick entering today with 19 tackles under his belt, and he's only been playing defense for 2 games. Neck out of the shotgun with Jefferson to his right. Caleb Jefferson entering today with 704 yards rushing. It ranks him number 15 in the country. He's averaging 100.6 yards per game. He's got 6 touchdowns also. That was Miles McClendon with the tackle in the backfield. Looks like that's going to be a gain of just 0 yards. So nearly a tackle for a loss there by Miles McClendon, the sophomore out of Lawrence North High School on the east side of Indianapolis. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 32. Now in the backfield is number 29, Andre Chenault, a running back. He's a freshman, 5'8", 180 from Mount Clemens, Michigan. I played with Chenault in college. He was a tight end out of Dayton, Ohio. Neck looking downfield. Has plenty of time in the pocket. Now it collapsed. Looks like that was Ethan Thur and Matt Schwartz. Thur getting there first. How about the play of number 46, Ethan Thur, a redshirt freshman. Undersized for a defensive end, but makes up with it with his power and his speed. Thur, very strong defensive end and very, very fast. Thur and Schwartz gobbled him up. That was a loss of 1, brings up 3rd and 11. They're going to keep Chenault in the backfield, offset to the left. Neck out of the shotgun, has trips up top to the left, and big number 87, the right tight end. That is Abraham Wildermuth. He's an H-back sophomore, 6'4", 280. Neck maneuvering around the pocket, goes out to the far sideline, and that'll be a catch by number 14, Justin Carabino. It's the 2nd time we've mentioned his name today at 5'8", 170. That's going to bring up a 1st down here for the Saints inside the 20. Ball marked at the 17-yard line. This time it's Jared Jordan in the backfield, number 4. Jordan, a redshirt sophomore at 5'10", 210 pounds from Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. He went to Grosse Pointe North High School. Handoff, and not much happening there as McCormick came in from the left side, and holding his ground was Matt Schwartz. Also in on the play was Nick Lucas, number 35. We talked about the great linebacker for Siena Heights and Cole Merlin. Nick Lucas is just that for your Cougars. Lucas entering today with 62 tackles, ranks him number 14 in the country, averaging 10.3 tackles per game for the sophomore out of Lake Central High School up in the region. Lucas, a very fast defender, as this Cougar defense has speed for days. 2nd and 9. Neck looking to the left, has his man. That's Caleb Jefferson with the spin. And looks like he's going to be down at the 1 yard line. That'll be a gain of 8 yards. Jefferson showing some athletic ability out there with the spin move, lunged towards the goal line and came up just short. So that's going to bring up 1st and goal here for the Saints. Time to hunker down here for the Cougar defense with 10:19 remaining. In the backfield is Jordan at 210 pounds, neck out of the shotgun. Jordan offset to his left, near pistol formation as the handoff goes to him. He went for the jump, but was met right away. That's Jalen Moss, number 4. Looks like Kevion Evans and Miles McClendon also in on the stop. Brings up 2nd and 1. Jordan once again takes the handoff, and this time he's able to break the plane. So Siena Heights going to go up first here, 6-0 with 9:45 on the clock. So the Saints go up here 6-0 to start this game. And the PAT attempt, it's Anthony Secchi, the kicker, redshirt sophomore. Secchi entering today is 0 for 1 in field goal attempts. But the PAT is good, so that'll make it 7-0 Siena Heights. We've had some great battles throughout the years here with Siena Heights. Folks, remember you can follow the live stats at NAIA DAC Stats. Sports Information Director Bill Scott and the crew providing the stats for you. Remember last year, boy, what a game it was. The Cougars down by 8 points with just 42 seconds remaining, driving the length of the field to tie the game up at 19. And then in overtime, the Cougars winning it 22-19 over Siena Heights.
Kicking off for Siena Heights. 44-36.
So Secchi once again to kick it off here. And back deep will be the freshman, Mike Adams. Adams with a great return following the block of Casey Call, the junior out of Liston, Indiana, Tri-West Hendricks High School. Call wears number 81. His brother's a starting linebacker for Ball State. This kickoff deep, going to be fielded right at the goal line. Adams this time going to rush it to his left. Now on the return, we got a flag on the play as Adams going to take it to about the 19 to the 20-yard line. The Cougars lead the all-time series with Siena Heights 6 wins to just 1 loss and have won 4 straight. That only loss came in 2014. Cougars losing it 27-21 here at Bishop Darcy Stadium to the Saints. Siena Heights for many years had the great cornerback. I believe he was in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie camp. So it brings up 1st and 10. Ball down at the 7-yard line. Looks like they're going to call it the 8. Martell Williams. That's a pistol formation for Matt Crable. 2 wide receivers up top. Dan Rixey along with Duke Blackwell. Blackwell from New Palestine High School was injured last year, and wow, tackle in the backfield by number 4, Vincent Walker. D lineman, redshirt sophomore, 6'2", 200 from Midland, Michigan. So that's really been the trend, really in about, I'd say, the past 20 years, but mostly the last 10 years. these smaller defensive ends that are really quick and can put the rush on, and that is definitely Vincent Walker at 6'2", 200. Crable, this time Williams to his right. The H-back was Casey Call, and Martell Williams breaks free. This is a big run past the 40, the 50. They will not be able to catch Martell Williams. He's just way too fast. A 98-yard touchdown for the sophomore Martell Williams. Cougars now down 7-6. Martell Williams looking for his third straight 100-yard rushing game. Folks, I think he's going to get it. There's only 8 minutes and 48 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. But Martell Williams already with a 98-yard touchdown. Martell, one of the fastest players on the team. I talked to him this week in Coach D's show, and he said, you know, this year, or I should say, coming to St. Francis as Gavin Gardner's PAT attempt is good. But for Martell, he played in kind of an option offense at Lawrence North in high school. Here at St. Francis, now he's in the spread where obviously the field spread out a little bit more. And Martell said he's really worked on his patience, letting the holes develop. And obviously with offensive line coach Trevor Miller and this great offensive line, it is paying off big time for Martell Williams. Williams entering today the team's leading rusher with 528 yards rushing on the season, averaging 5.2 yards per carry and 88 yards per game. His 88 yards per game ranks him number 24 in the country. For Martell Williams, the guys call him Telly. What a big play right there. Of course, Siena Heights was bringing the house. They were looking for a sack, looking for a safety, and they got none because once Telly found that seam, and this is a return, first person to get to him, and that was number 13, Nate Place. But look at that pile. A great return here for Siena Heights as they'll take it all the way to about the 46-yard line. I believe that was number 21 with the return, Daniel Lowe Jr. So I'll bring up 1st and 10. The 47 will be necked out of the shotgun with Jefferson behind, offset to the left. Jefferson wearing number 10. I'm not sure if that's his original number. Not on the roster. Pass out in the flats, low, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. So early in this game, it's pretty apparent that next favorite receiver is Justin Carabino.
Brings up 2nd down.
Carabino now with 2 receptions for 20 yards in this game. Jefferson has the other reception. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 47. Trips up top. Once again, it's the tight end off to the right, the big tight end in number 87, Wilbermuth. 280 pounds, basically an extra offensive lineman. Handoff goes to Jefferson, met right away by Matt Schwartz. Looks like that's going to be a gain of about 2 yards, 1.5 to 2. The Cougars have that extra offensive lineman / tight end, and his name is Zendon Dellinger. And Dellinger caught his first ever career touchdown pass in the win against Concordia just 2 weeks ago. Cougars winning it 34-27. 3rd and 9 after the gain of 1 at the 48. Necked out of the shotgun. Looking downfield, Cambino came open, but he's going to run it, and he'll have the first down. Wisely gets out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So that's a gain of about 13 yards for the sophomore quarterback, Once again, 6'3", 215 pounds. And he's played well this season. Neck with 10 touchdown passes. Matt Crable leads the Cougars with 12. Wide receiver on the bottom of your screen is Gerald King at 6'2", 180 pounds. 2 wide receivers up top, one of those being Carabino. 1st and 10 from the 39. The handoff to Jefferson. Not a whole lot of room to run for Jefferson. Ethan Thur, Andrew McCormick, and Matt Schwartz all in on the tackle. Also, Nick Lucas is there, and that should come as no surprise. Gain of about 2 yards will bring up 2nd and 8. The Cougars, just 2 regular season games remaining. Next week we'll be at Lawrence Tech with a noon kickoff. Week after that at Taylor University in Upland, Indiana. It's only a 50-minute drive, so you're going to want to make that trip. Play action pass, and that pass goes right through the hands of number 3, Paenki Abdul Hakim. Redshirt sophomore, 6'6", 225. Abdul Hakim is from Detroit, Michigan, went to Loyola High School. He's a big player for the Saints at 6'6", 225. Brings up 3rd and 8 from the 37. Now the tight end to the right is number 84, Xavier Stollard. 2 wide receivers up top. Neck looking in the flats and has his man, the running back, number 27, met right away by Lucas, and we have a fumble picked up by Ryan Johnson. And they are going to say the running back was down. Once again, that's Ethan Lopresto. He's a freshman, 5'8", 167, out of Montgomery, Michigan. Ethan Lopresto is the number 2 leading rusher on the team, entering today with 275 yards on the season and 4 touchdowns, while averaging 55 yards per game. So you will see a lot of number 27, Ethan Lopresto. That'll bring up 4th and about 2. Jefferson right up the gut for a 1st down. Caleb Jefferson once again ranks number 39 in the country with 7 touchdowns this year. 6 of those on the ground and 1 of those receiving. Jefferson entering today with 42 receiving yards and 3 catches. He ranks number 15 in the country with 704 total rushing yards, averaging just over 100 per contest. Brings up 1st and 10 from the 27. Handoff to Jefferson, stumbles a little bit right after the handoff. McCormick with the tackle, and first to get there was number 56, Jamal Jackson. Jackson, the junior linebacker out of Indianapolis, Indiana Cathedral High School, was featured this week by the Journal-Gazette. Jackson, 3 state championships at Cathedral, 2 national championships here at the University of St. Francis. So he's brought with him a little bit of pixie dust that's welcomed here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. 2nd and 6, ball at the 23. Handoff goes number 29, following his blockers, Nick Lucas with the tackle. That was a run by Chenault. Entering today, Andre Chenault, the 3rd leading rusher on the team, with 183 yards rushing, averaging 4.5 yards per carry with 1 touchdown. He's been averaging 36.6 yards per game. First and 10 from the 16, necked out of the shotgun, handoff, and that was Nick Lucas. First to get there, that was Jared Jordan, the big running back. Jordan once again scored the first touchdown for the Saints. That was a 1-yard touchdown run. They kept giving it to the big man at 5'10", 210 pounds, and he eventually broke the plane. Jordan still in the backfield, offset to the left, as next in the shotgun. Wide receiver up top is number 6. That's Cody Burton, a redshirt sophomore at 6'4", 190 pounds. A lot of sophomores on this roster for Siena Heights. They are coached by Matt Cohn, who's in his 4th season. So Jordan's going to take that down to the 9-yard line. Jamal Jackson with the tackle for your Cougars. Jackson entering today the 2nd leading tackler with 37 tackles under his belt and 6.5 tackles for a loss, 3.5 sacks. He also has a fumble recovery. Jamal had a good game down in Indianapolis against Marion. In the backfield is Chenal. Play action pass rolling out right, and Neck finds his tight end, big number 84, Xavier Stollard. He's a redshirt freshman, 6'3", 210. So he's going to take that ball all the way inside the 1, just inches away from the goal line. That'll bring up 1st and goal. 2:26 and counting here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. 2 tight ends going to move to the right side. That's big Wilbermuth along with Stollard. Heavy formation to the right. Jordan goes right up the gut, and he'll be in for a touchdown. So Jared Jordan with his 2nd touchdown in this game. And once again, another 1-yard plunge puts the Saints up 13-7. Cougars obviously with some injuries at defensive end and defensive tackle. Ethan Vanover out for the season. Mitchell Thornberry out for the season. And James Jamisic still nursing an injury as the PAT attempt is up and in by Secchi. So 2:08 left to play here in the first quarter, and it's 14-7. Siena Heights on top. So once again, for the 3rd time this game, the return unit going to head out with the freshman Mike Adams. Another kickoff returner the Cougars could put out there is number 1, Matt Kamakewicz, who returned a kickoff for a touchdown against Lindenwood Belleville in his freshman season. Also has a punt return for a touchdown this year, and that was at Robert Morris. Last time out on the field for St. Francis, it was a 98-yard touchdown run by Martell Williams. Of course, Justin Green had a 99-yarder, and that was at Reinhardt during the 2016 National Championship run. That ball fielded at the 6 by Adam. Adams this time cuts it up, and he is hit squarely on the ball. It pops loose. Looks like Nick Brickens was there to fall on it for your Cougars. Tell you what, Nick Brickens is one heck of a player here at the University of St. Francis. He is a senior at 5'10", 195 from New Palestine, Indiana. Of course, Nick Brickens, along with Duke Blackwell, they were a part of that New Palestine team that lost to Snyder in the Class 5A state championship game. And that was a record-breaking game as the two teams scored over 60 points apiece. Pistol formation here for Crable, 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. 2 wide receivers up top and bottom as Martell Williams going to take it all the way to the 19. That's a gain of 5 on the play. Boy, Martell is really getting into his own here for St. Francis. P.J. Dean is available, but as long as Martell has the hot hand, Coach Donnelly is going to stay going to him. Rocky James and Kamakewicz on the bottom of your screen. That's Kamo in the slot, and Dan Rixey up top. On the wing for the Cougars, Casey Call. Shotgun formation. Handoff goes to Williams. Williams once again goes around the left-hand side and takes this ball to the 26-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. That's going to be a University of St. Francis first down. So we'll get the Cougar growl going with our PA announcer, Jim Shovlin. Jim Shovlin, who also hosts the Saturday morning sports show on ESPN. Every single week he's talking with athletic director Mike McCaffrey to get you caught up on St. Francis athletics. That's Jim Shovlin as the pass goes to Rocky James. Goes up high to get it. Looks like a gain of 10 yards and a first down. Rocky James showing off his athletic ability. Went up in the air and snagged that one down, was hit right away. Just to give you guys an idea, Kendon Lewis was the top dunker in Fort Wayne in Rocky's freshman year. He went head-to-head with Kendon Lewis and won the dunk competition at the Cougar Midnight Madness, or March Madness, the Cougar Basketball Madness. I can't remember what it was called. And it looks like a false start going to be called on James on 1st and 10 from the 36. Rocky jumped over his high school teammate Ryan Johnson and did a reverse slam that made the Hutzel Athletic Center go crazy. Social media enjoyed that one too. So that'll bring up now 1st and 15. Ball at the 31-yard line. Landon Myers is your center. Crable, play action. This time goes back to Rocky right through his hands. Rocky had a drop like that last week as well. Of course, this week, though, we have the driving rain, and it's going to be raining all game long here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Nothing but 100% on the weather.com hourly. So after the incomplete pass, that brings up a 2nd and 10. You got Ryder Burchett at right tackle, Nick Shoemaker at right guard, Landon Tiny Myers at center, John Doherty at left guard, and Reese Roney at left tackle. The handoff to Williams. Beautiful black block by Matt Kamakewicz. Kama with the block on number 12. That is Griffin Sobel. So a gain of about 3 on the play. That'll do it for the first quarter. So Siena Heights will take a 14-7 lead into the second quarter as you're watching Cougar football here from Bishop Darcy Stadium.
Parkview Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
So we are back here to start the second quarter. And in the first quarter, for the University of St. Francis, it was 117 yards on 8 plays. For Siena Heights, 95 yards on 22 plays. 3rd and 12, ball at the 34-yard line. Crable into the flats has P.J. Dean. Dean going to be hit first by number 10. That's Gabe Callery. Callery at DB, a redshirt sophomore, 5'10", 195. Callery entering today is the team's fourth leading tackler with 36 tackles under his belt. Nick Stallworth ranks number 2 with 57 behind Cole Merlin. That brings up a 4th and 9. The senior Joe Neppert to punt it for St. Francis. Joe averaging 39 yards per punt, but where he really excels is pinning another team inside the 20. He did it 3 times against Robert Morris. That one fielded at the 19-yard line. And making the tackle from behind was Mike Adams. Adams' closing speed is just outstanding. That was a return by number 85, Austin Kreider. Kreider, the senior wide receiver from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Homestead High School, 5'11", 180 pounds. He played at Homestead with Drew Kazai. Kazai ended up getting a scholarship to play at Ohio for the Bobcats. Of course, Homestead High School here in Fort Wayne is known as QB High. And right now they have one of the best QBs in the state in Luke Goody, who's only a junior. Goody is also a Division I prospect in basketball, so we'll see how that unfolds. 2 wide receivers to the bottom, 1st and 10, ball at the 30. The handoff goes to Jefferson. Jefferson bounces out to the right, and he's got all kinds of room to run. Jefferson down the far sideline. Can he be caught by Moss? Actually tracking him down from behind. Looks like that's Damon Hunter. But a big gainer by Caleb Jefferson. All the way down to the 15-yard line. So that will be a gain of 55 yards for Caleb Jefferson. Jefferson is as advertised, folks. That was Damon Hunter tracking him down from behind. Damon, a young cornerback here for your Cougars. A sophomore at 5'11", 174 from Columbus, Indiana, Columbus North High School. And another tackle by Hunter, that time. That was Ethan Lepresto on the carry. So Damon Hunter, who splits time at cornerback with Jack Givens, the senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Carroll High School. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 15 after the no gain. The big running back, Jared Jordan, in the backfield, just offset to the right of Tyler Neck. Neck, a redshirt sophomore, once again, 6'3", 215 pounds. From King Mills, Ohio. He went to King's High School. I wonder what their mascot is. So Siena Heights going to take a timeout here with 12:48 remaining and 2nd and 10 coming up. So Martell Williams in the first quarter, 5 carries for 107 yards and a touchdown. Martell's only averaging 21.4 yards per carry. We'll take it. Siena Heights led by Caleb Jefferson, who had 6 carries for 17 yards, averaging 2.8 per. So that 55-yarder will definitely help out his average. Tyler Neck had 2 carries for 12 yards. Jared Jordan, 6 carries for 10. And Andre Chenault with 1 carry for 7 yards. Neck was 5 of 7 passing for 49 yards, was also sacked once. His receivers, Justin Carabino, 2 catches for 20 yards. Caleb Jefferson, 1 catch for 15. Xavier Stollard, 1 catch for 8 yards. And Ethan Lepresto with 1 catch for 6 yards. For St. Francis, the passing game, Matt Crable, 1 for 3 with an interception for 10 yards. Rocky James with 1 reception for 10 yards. Leading the Cougars in tackles was Matt Schwartz. He had 5 with a sack. Roll out right by Neck. He's being chased down by Ethan Thur. Hits his tight end, who's met right away. McCormick was the second one to get there. Jamal Jackson with the tackle. That was Xavier Stollard with the reception. Andrew McCormick had 5 tackles for your Cougars. Ethan Thur with 4 and Nick Lucas with 4. Hayden Lehman had 3 for Siena Heights. Shamar Simmons had 2. Troy Kutcha had 1 and Marquise Robinson had 1. 3rd and 2 from the 7 for Siena Heights. Man in motion. They fake it on the jet sweep. Give it to Jordan. And Jordan's going to have the first down. He was met by Blake Schumacher along with Jamal Jackson and Jalen Moss. Blake Schumacher, a senior starter at safety, and Jalen Moss, a junior starter at 6 foot 200 pounds out of Fishers, Indiana. So he and the freshman linebacker, Emmanuel Davis, both out of Fishers. That brings up 1st and goal from the 4. Decked out of the shotgun once again. They fake it on the jet sweep. Jefferson looking for 6. He was able to get out of the tackle of JJ, Jamal Jackson, and no signal yet from the referees. Looks like Jefferson will be just a bit short. 6 inches from the goal line will bring up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
So on 2nd and goal, they're going to keep Jordan in the backfield. Tight end to the right is Stollard. 2 wide receivers on the bottom of your screen. Jordan looking to plunge in from 1, and he will be stuffed. Nick Lucas was there for the Cougars. Also, Jamal Jackson. Nick Lucas doing a good job there reading his keys, and when he's ready to strike, boom, he'll lower the hammer, and that time he was able to stop Jordan right there for a no gain. Once again, though, the ball sitting at about the 6-inch line. Here on 3rd and goal, Jordan offset to the left. Tight end to the left as well. Jordan going right up the gut and ran right into his offensive lineman. What a play by Miles McClendon, number 92. Miles picked up the offensive lineman and drove him back into the backfield, and Jordan ran right into his own player. Miles got that leverage and used his strength and speed. That was an outstanding play by the sophomore D lineman, Miles McClendon. So on to attempt the field goal will be Secchi. Remember, folks, he's only attempted 1 on the season. Secchi nearly had it blocked by Ryan Johnson, but that one's up and in from 20 yards out. So Secchi now on the season is 1 for 2 in field goal attempts. Now he knows what it feels like. That'll put Siena Heights up 17-7 over your Cougars with 9:34 left to play in the 2nd quarter. Still, though, on that 3rd down, how about Miles McClendon? That was a highlight for you. He just bench pressed the offensive lineman 2 yards into the backfield, and Jordan had nowhere to go. You would imagine that it would be... You'd imagine it would have been one of the Cougars. Well, technically it was. It was Miles McClendon making that stop because he was able to pick up the O-lineman. So once again, this time it's going to be Matt Kamakawicz's back in kick return. Matt Kamakawicz entering today with just 1 kick return under his belt. That was for 15 yards. However, he is nationally ranked in punt returns. Kama with 11 punt returns for 168 yards, averaging 15.3 per return, and that ranks him number 5 in the country. Of course, the University of St. Francis, they can just rotate different players in at punt return or kick return. That ball received at the 3 by Camo. Camo has a seam right there, going to be knocked down at about the 34. Ball is loose, but they're going to say the ground caused the fumble there. So the Cougars will maintain possession here. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the 33-yard line. So St. Francis currently down by 10 points. And it's the junior quarterback, Matt Crable, coming out for your Cougs. Cougars wearing the all-black unis today. Siena Heights with the white jerseys. It's Williams in the backfield. Casey Call at the right wing. Williams cuts it up, and looks like that'll be a gain of about 4 yards to the 37-yard line. Martell with the jab step to the right, fouled his blocker, Casey Call, to the left, picking up a gain of 4 yards. And that will work here for run game coordinator Trevor Miller and your Cougars. Brings up 2nd and 6 from the 37. 2 wide receivers up top, 2 to the bottom. Duke Blackwell in the slot. In the other slot is Casey Call. Crable with the pump fake goes to his 3rd progression here. Looking downfield for Rixey. Has to escape the tackler and cannot. That's number 79, Garrett Vanover, sophomore D lineman, 6'1", 285 from Mainville, Ohio. He also went to Kings High School. So that'll be about a loss of 1 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 11 from the 32.
Also brings up 3rd and 11 from the Cougar 32-yard line.
Mike Adams in the first quarter with 3 returns for 57 yards with a long of 29. This time it's Eli Wallace in the backfield, right to the right of Crable on the out pattern. That ball sails over the head of Dan Rixey. That'll bring up 4th and 11 and a punting situation for your Cougars and the senior Joe Nepper. Once again, it'll be number 85, Austin Kreider from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Homestead High School, to return it. His alma mater, Homestead, will open up the postseason at Noblesville next Friday with the 7 p.m. kickoff, and the Homestead Spartans are ranked number 3 in the state. Nepper, good pressure there by Siena Heights. Kreider with the fair catch at the 35. Looks like he had some space there, but was cautious on that punt return. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for Siena Heights at the 35. And coming out for St. Francis, we have Cade Irwin and River Walsh, your linebackers. Justin Groves at D tackle along with Rob Brown. Also out there is number 45, Devin Green, who's moved around all over the place. He was at wingback earlier this year, and now with a lack of depth at DN, Green moving back to the position he played the previous 2 seasons. Ethan Thur, the defensive end, up top. Handoff, that's Jefferson, and he was able to escape the first tackler, Ethan Thur, brought down by Jalen Moss. Thur just seems like he's unblockable. It seems like he's in on every single play that's right at the line of scrimmage. Big Rob Brown, he's also from Lawrence North High School. So you have 3 players from Lawrence North, the running back Martell Williams, along with Miles McClendon and Rob, and they're all in the same class. Rob, a center last year for the Cougars, now playing D tackle, providing good depth on the defensive line. Justin Groves, he's out of South Bend St. Joseph High School, also a sophomore. Neck getting flushed out of the pocket. That was Rob Brown. No holding called on the play. Pass is complete, and making the tackle, Andrew McCormick. That was Gerald King, the receiver, redshirt junior. King entering today the team's leading wide receiver with 235 yards receiving under his belt and 4 touchdowns. He averages 14.7 yards per carry. That'll bring up 1st and 10, ball at the 45.
First down, Siena Heights.
Neck with Jefferson in the backfield, offset to the right. Kreider on the bottom of your screen, along with Carabino in the slot. Handoff to Jefferson. Jab step, jumps out to the right side. He'll be brought down by the freshman, River Walsh. So impressed with the way River Walsh has been playing in his freshman year. A true freshman from Andrean High School. 6 foot, 208 pounds. He's from Maryville. Brings up 2nd, 8 from the 47. Entering today, the true freshman, River Walsh, with 19 tackles under his belt. Getting better and better with every single game. Faking the handoff, Neck on the play action. He's looking deep. That's Ryan Johnson with the coverage, and that's not happening. R.J. Island all day. RJ's closing speed is elite. Pound for pound, considered one of the strongest players, fastest players in NAIA football. He is a senior from Xenia, Ohio, where he played high school football with Danny Naylor and Rocky James, both on the Cougar roster. Brings up 3rd and 8 from the 47. Neck has a running back off to his right, and that pass goes right over the head of number 82, Nicholas Pagano. Pagano's a redshirt sophomore, 6'3", 205 from South Lyon, Michigan. That's going to bring up 4th and 8 from the 47, and back to punt it for Siena Heights. Looks like that's number 26. Nope, Caleb Meester, number 25, the sophomore, 6'1", 190 from Toledo, Ohio, St. Francis de Sales High School. Good looking punt, and a fair catch going to be called by Dylan Hunley, made at the 16-yard line. Well,
17-yard line.
So made the drive to Peru, Indiana yesterday for an Indiana high school playoff game, and what a beautiful drive with all the leaves changing here in late fall. The foliage, it's a beautiful thing here in northern Indiana. 1st and 10 from the 17. Williams offset to the right as the handoff, that's a fumble. Looks like Matt's able to get back on it for St. Francis. Looked like that was some kind of read option where he wanted to take it away from Williams. Just a little bit of miscommunication there. Either way, it's a loss of 2. It's going to bring up 2nd and 12, ball at the 15.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 in Cougar, 15-yard line.
5:04 and counting for St. Francis on 2nd and 12. Call the fullback to the left. Crable looking downfield. He's going deep for Rocky James. What a catch! Rocky James going to take it down all the way to the 40-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 45 yards on the play for the senior Rocky James. A huge gainer. And actually, they're going to mark that ball at the 38-yard line. So that'd be a 40. By the way, it's 1st and 10 from the 38. Crable fakes the handoff. Has Dan Rixey in the flats, and he's just going to hold on to it. Rixey now going to block for him, and a huge hit on Crable as he takes it down to the 29, a gain of 9 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 2 from the 29. Dan Rixey was wide open in the flats. It's P.J. Dean in the backfield, offset to the left of Crable out of the shotgun. Rixey on the bottom of your screen. Crable going to loft this one up for Rixey. Timing pattern, touchdown, Cougars. A 30-yard strike from Matt Crable to Dan Rixey. Crable just lofted that one up there. Rixey had his sights on it. And Dan Rixey played that DB for the score. Rixey, the team's leading receiver, his 3rd touchdown on the season. So Gavin Gardner in to attempt the PAT, and it's up. And it's good. Cougars now down by 3, 17-7. Crable once again, beautiful ball as he just lofted it here on the near corner of the end zone. Rixey ran right underneath it 4-6. We'll see who's in to return it for Siena Heights. It was Cameron Thompson. Cameron Thompson, number 22, a redshirt freshman, 5'10", 190. And he's back once again for SHU, along with the wide receiver Justin Carabino. Both positioned about the 5-yard line. And now in to kick it off is going to be Jack James for your Cougars, number 86. Normally used to seeing Gavin Gardner out there. This time it's Jack James from Snyder High School. Carabino takes it at the 2-yard line. And Emmanuel Davis is there along with River Walsh. Emmanuel Davis did an outstanding job blowing that play up. And River Walsh was right there next to him with support. Folks, there are your future middle linebackers right there. Number 51, Emmanuel Davis, and number 48, River Walsh. They played that one perfectly. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 17. An outstanding play by Emmanuel Davis. Neck out of the shotgun. In the backfield, that's Caleb Jefferson. Pistol alignment, trips on the bottom of your screen. Austin Kreider, number 85, as a handoff goes to Jefferson. Jalen Moss lowering the boom along with Kevion Evans. Kevion, the left defensive end, did a great job of holding contain, strung that play all the way out, and Jalen Moss was there to lower the boom. That's a loss of about 2 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 12 from the 10. Neck this time with the running back off to the left. It's number 27 on the swing pass and tackled in the backfield. This time it's Andrew McCormick as the swing pass went to number 27, Ethan LaPresto. The Cougar defense is coming alive here all over that play. Andrew McCormick is the dude out there for St. Francis. It's going to bring up 3rd down and probably about 14, I believe. They're going to place the ball at the 13-yard line. So that was a loss of 2 on the play. Boy, you got to love it. Here at St. Francis, 2 other really good defensive players that you're going to be seeing here in the future. One of those being Jalen Charlton, a transfer from Davenport, who was a star running back at Bishop Lewis High School. And the other one is true freshman Nate Place. Nate Place was a quarterback in high school. He's 6'1", 183 pounds out of Van Wert, Ohio. Both of those players, along with Andrew McCormick, boy, the future on defense is looking bright. Kevion Evans down there, the starting defensive end, he's a redshirt freshman. So a lot of very young players for St. Francis. Kevion from Toledo, Ohio, Whitmer High School. Matt Schwartz and Miles McClendon, your defensive ends, and that's James Jamisic, number 97, up top in the 2-point stance. Jamisic, 7.5 sacks on the season. Just needs 1 more sack to set a new Cougar program record. Play action pass and a big hit by Blake Schumacher. That's going to be short as that ball was caught by number 84, Xavier Stollard. Boy, Schumacher was right there to lower the boom. That's going to bring up 4th and about 2. Currently, the Cougar record for career sacks is 25.5, held by Stephen Whited along with Chris Van Horn. So back to return this punt is Dan Rixey. Last year, Dan Rixey became the first ever Cougar to return 2 punts in back-to-back games for a touchdown. And he's going to fair catch this one. And let me rephrase that. He became the first Cougar ever to return punts for a touchdown in back-to-back games. One of those came against Lindenwood Belleville, and the other one, I believe, came against Missouri Baptist. The Missouri Baptist Spartans. So Belleville no longer has a program. And after 1st and 10, ball at the 44-yard line. Crable out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff to Williams, finds Casey Call. Call going to be drug out at about the 49-yard line. That'll be a gain of 7 yards. And Call hit out of bounds. That's going to tack on more yardage for St. Francis. Should be a personal foul here against SHU. And the personal foul goes against number 31, Nick Stallworth, the linebacker. Stallworth, who had that big interception to start this game off for Siena Heights. First and 10 now at the 36-yard line. It's Nick Brickens in at the left wing. Martell Williams. Now it's a pistol alignment. Brickens moves to the right. 2 wide receivers up top. Crable looks to the left, has Rocky James, and that ball's intercepted. The second interception of the game for Siena Heights. This time it's number 2, Trevon Claiborne. Claiborne 6'2", 195. I'm not going to lie, Siena Heights, they get good DBs at that school. Stallworth had the first interception. Now Claiborne. Is that ball just a little bit underthrown for Rocky James? Crable threw it perfectly on the last possession to Dan Rixey. That one just needed a little bit more mustard on it. 1:48 remaining before the half. Siena Heights up 17-14. It's 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line. Jefferson in the backfield takes the handoff, and he'll be hit by Andrew McCormick. Jefferson still falling forward for about 2 more yards. Got a gain of about 4 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 6. .125 and counting. Siena Heights taking their time. Looks like they're going to be happy for this clock just to run out. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Jefferson offset to the left. Shotgun formation for Neck. 2 tight ends into the game, both lined up on the left side. Jefferson, he's met by Jamal Jackson and Nick Lucas. Cleaning up on the play will be Jalen Moss. And we have a Cougar down on the field. And that is Miles McClendon. And St. Francis also going to take a timeout here. I was wondering if the Cougars, with Siena Heights pinned back inside the 10-yard line, they're going to want to force a punt here by SHU and get their punt block attempt on. Currently in this game, St. Francis 5 of 9 passing for 95 yards, 2 interceptions. Siena Heights 9 of 13 passing for 75 yards. Siena Heights 26 rushes for 102 yards. St. Francis 9 rushes for 112 yards. Of course, 98 of those came on the Martell Williams touchdown. The second longest rushing touchdown in the program's history. At most colleges, that would be a program record. 98 yards, not easy to do. 3rd and 2 from the 13. Neck is going to hand it off to Jefferson once again. Has a hole, and he will be stopped by, I believe that was Jamal Jackson, number 56. And flag after the play's over. Looks like a personal foul. Not sure if it's going to be dueling personal fouls. Offensive line getting into the mix. They're going to call this one against St. Francis with 52 seconds remaining. Oh, it's on Siena Heights, a sideline warning. So once again, you have to be behind the second white line, that white space there. That is for the referees to run up and down the field. On a sudden change of possession, like an interception or a fumble, sometimes unexpectedly the refs will be jolting down the sideline, and there's been times when they've run into a camera operator or a coach, and that is their space. That's for the referees. So Siena Heights now going to call a timeout with 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line, 36 seconds remaining. Siena Heights up next. They will travel to Receiving Votes Indiana Wesleyan next Saturday, and will finish up the regular season hosting number 3 Marion at Siena Heights out of Adrian, Michigan. I think it's O'Laughlin Stadium. Nice stadium. I do like how their press box is put together. It's in 3 different sections, so the coaches will have the left and the right, and the media game day crew takes up the middle section. Kind of do like how that's put together. It's a fairly new stadium over there at Siena Heights. I remember their first year. Once again, St. Francis 6-1 all time against the Saints. So this is the 8th meeting. And Neck's going to kneel it. Looks like one more kneel down and we'll head to halftime. Nope, that should do it. So heading into the break, it's Siena Heights up 17-14. Cougars playing strong here though from Bishop Darcy Stadium. So folks, we're going to take a break here for halftime, let you listen to the band, and then we will have the Kevin Donnelly feature story that was put together by Zach Groth and Daniel Beals from Channel 21 here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and also the weekly show with Martell Williams. So enjoy, and we will be back with 5 minutes left until the 3rd quarter to go over the halftime stats.
Job coaching.
It was another dramatic finish at Bishop Darcy Stadium as your number 7th ranked University of St. Francis football team held on for a 31-30 victory in the first ever meeting with Indiana Wesleyan. With 39 seconds remaining in the game, the Wildcats' 2-point conversion pass attempt was broken up by Cougar cornerback Chris Cawley.
Well, compliments to Indiana Wesleyan. They've got good players. Obviously, they've got support to have a great program. They did a great job coaching, and they were very well prepared. It was a perfect trap game for us after a big emotional win at Concordia, winning right at the end of the game on the block field goal, scoop score, and we came out flat. We started the game, we were flat. I don't know, maybe deep down inside, many felt it wasn't going to be that tough a game. But I tell you what, in this conference, you better buckle up each and every week because anybody could beat anybody on any given day. So they started out, man, they jumped on us. Jamasic was out, Crable was out, Simmons made his first start. at quarterback. So, I mean, we had a lot of adversity to deal with. Hats off to our guys. We regrouped at the half and came out, guns blazing, and got the lead back, and took it right down the wire and made it exciting at the end.
And from the beginning of the game, sophomore running back Martell Williams was exciting the fans with runs of 17 and 12 yards in the first quarter. He finished the day with a career best 175 yards rushing, averaging 8 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns.
Well, I'm so happy for him. He's a wonderful young man. He keeps getting better and better and better. When PJ got injured, he really stepped up and provided what we needed. PJ is now getting healthy. We got him worked back into the game this past weekend. So now, I think we've got a 1-2 punch there of guys that can make big plays and get it done. So we're excited about what Martell has been doing. We're excited to get PJ back.
Yeah, we felt good. We wanted to come out and run the ball and just establish a run game, and I feel like we did a good job of that, of getting the O-line and the wing backs and everybody together. Taking what they give us, yeah, some plays might not have worked, but they were giving us some other run plays that fit better and were more successful.
The Cougars are also expected to get starting quarterback Matt Crable back this week. Redshirt freshman Heath Simmons made his first ever start versus Indiana Wesleyan, completing 13 of 22 passes for 172 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception.
He performed very well. I think he was a little jittery in his first college start, but he made some great throws, one to Rixey there in the first half, vertical shot. He's really good at laying the ball out vertically. Going to a second progression, one time we had a call, a post from the boundary, and inside receiver drag from the field, and he had to go to number 2, and there was some coverage in the way, but he tried to place the ball a little bit. He just got trust on let rip. But I can't be too critical. I thought he did an outstanding job in a difficult situation. I mean, we didn't play well defensively early. Took us a while to dig in. We did a great job in the second half. And I think as the game went on, he gained more confidence, and I thought he did an excellent job. Feel very confident in his performance.
Coach is also confident in the play of linebacker Nick Lucas. The sophomore led the team with 12 tackles and is second in the MSFA Mid-East, averaging 10.2 tackles per game. USF held Wesleyan quarterback Zach Blair to just 165 yards passing, 55 yards below his season average.
Most of their yards came in the first half and the last drive. So I thought we played excellent. We did a good job, I think, in the third level, getting guys covered. Some mistakes we made earlier in the season. It's funny, opponents that we play, after somebody's had success 2 or 3 weeks earlier, they put that play in to see if they can get us as well. Ryan Johnson jumps out right away where we got beat on a kind of a gadget at Marion, and didn't happen to him twice, so that took a big play away from him. So, we're playing hard, we're playing well, we're getting better, we're dealing with all the bumps and bruises. Hopefully we get Janicic back this week, so got to keep on trucking.
Williams is coming off back-to-back 100-yard rushing games and is second on the team in scoring with 5 touchdowns. He entered the season as the third-string running back and is now carrying the load for the Cougars.
Yes, I feel like I'm mature because in high school we kind of ran a wing tee, so coming here is really my first time being like a spread running offense. So it definitely helped me get better as a running back, but I kind of feel like I've always been like good enough to play. It's just now I'm just getting my opportunity. With this offense, it kind of does make me a more patient runner. I feel like I'm more successful when I'm patient because it allows me to wait for the holes to develop and kind of keep the defense on their heels, waiting for where I'm gonna go and just maneuvering through the holes. It was a tempo play. I think it was short yardage, so I was really just trying to get the yardage I need for the first down. But I was patient for the hole. I seen the little opening, and I just took advantage of it and just scored.
Martell, along with defensive tackles Miles McClendon and Rob Brown, are all sophomores, and all came from the same high school in Lawrence North on the east side of Indianapolis. Being together has helped the trio have success. Miles is in his second year as a starting defensive tackle, and Brown has 8 tackles this season after moving over from offensive line.
It just feels good. It kind of shows like how we were in high school. We just worked hard. Like I said, our record didn't show how much talent we had as a group, but as individuals, we work hard. We want to be the best that we can be for our teams, and come into an unfamiliar situation with all 3 of us, it kind of like helped us learn and figure out stuff like as a group together. Coming from a losing record, you know, we was in a fight every week, and coming up here, we blowing teams out. Everybody gets to play. It was definitely different, and it was kind of a relief just getting coming to a different situation.
While playing at LN, Williams got some advice from a Cougar great, an All-American cornerback, Corey Stamps. After graduating from USF in 2014, Stamps started coaching at his alma mater, Lawrence North.
Yeah, I actually talked to Stamps a lot. Now he's working at my elementary school I went to, so I kind of went up there, met with some of my old teachers and him, and just talking about like what would be best, will it fit me, just what to expect and stuff like that. So yeah, he kind of gave me some tips and stuff to look forward to coming here. So yeah, it helped. When you come, it's a winning program. You just gotta come with a winner's mentality. You got a new fresh start from LN, so you just go out there and work hard and focus on school.
But for now, the focus is on number 18th ranked Siena Heights. The Saints are 6-1 on the season and bring with them the NAIA's number 1 ranked defense, giving up just 8.3 points per game, and the number 6th ranked rush defense. They're led by running back Caleb Jefferson, who averages 100 yards rushing per game, and linebacker Cole Merlin, who averages 10.3 tackles per game.
Yeah, they are. They are number 1 in the country in scoring defense. They are big and strong at the line of scrimmage. They play a lot of people. They're great athletically in the back end. They do a good job. They are very well coached. Have a lot of respect for them. They graduated a number of kids from last year, but they kind of keep on coming, you know, defensively. They've got some guys. So we know we're going to be challenged, and we got to get ourselves prepared this week and get ready to go.
Like you said, they're a good run defense. They're just a good defense overall, so I have to say we need to just not get away from our game and just continue doing what we've been doing, try to establish a good run game, and get our receivers involved a little bit more. And I feel like if we can do that, we'll be successful.
What is my legacy? I hope those that are out there in the real world, whether they're in football or whatever their life's work is, that they can look back and say, it had an effect on me in a positive manner. I learned some certain things to survive and achieve.
Kevin Donnelly already had an impressive resume when he came to St. Francis in 1997, but he couldn't pass up on the chance to build something new in Fort Wayne.
I think that the football program when I came here was an opportunity to build a bridge to the community through sport.
That bridge leads Coach D into the lives of countless young men, each year these new faces helping build up his program. After a lot of success, the Cougars finally reached the pinnacle, winning back-to-back national titles starting in 2016.
It was so glorious to go out my senior year, get the coaches, my dad, his first championship at St. Francis. It meant a lot.
Wide receiver Seth Coate helped secure that first championship, and he's continued his playing career at the pro level in the Canadian Football League. Guys don't typically go to USF with that goal in mind, but Donnelly still loves seeing Coat play at this new level.
It's so neat because he's USF football. As a little guy, he'd paint his face up, have his hair all spiked up in blue, and he'd be out here running around as a ball boy. So he was like part of the family from the very beginning.
I think his words were, enjoy it, make it last. Obviously college went by a lot faster than I had ever imagined. He goes, this will go by even quicker, so live it up. Enjoy the moments, enjoy the people that you get to meet along the way.
Few pro athletes come out of USF, but Donnelly's program has launched plenty of coaching careers. Mike Brevard graduated from St. Francis in 2015 and took over a struggling North Side team a few years ago. Donnelly didn't sugarcoat that situation.
Want me to be honest with you? Go for it. He told me I was going to get my butt whooped.
I want to encourage him, but I wanted to encourage him realistically. It's a lot of hard work when you do that. And you've got to find a way to creatively reach, touch those buttons where youngsters want to become the best they can be.
When you're getting preached to, at the moment, it's just like, I'm not worried about that. But, here I am at the age of 27, working on my third year as a head coach, and everything he's told me back then as a player, is lived up.
James Betcher might have the most remarkable path out of any former Cougar. Betcher played for Donnelly and later coached on his staff. He now finds himself on sidelines in the National Football League as defensive coordinator for the Giants.
I didn't ever think I'd be a New York football giant coaching for the New York football Giants. And I think some of the confidence that he instilled along the way early on, both as a player and as a coach, had a lot to do with that.
Coach D serves as a father figure to a lot of his guys, but it's special in Betcher's case since his dad died during his freshman year. Donnelly's voice mattered when Betcher abandoned his plans for law school to pursue coaching.
He says, I want to be a football coach. I said, oh, you're too smart for that. Go on to Notre Dame Law School. You're accepted. You'll do well. Coach, I want to have an opportunity to coach football. So I thought it was an emotional thing at first with a heart instead of his tremendous mind. But he really wanted to do it. He had a passion for it.
He said, listen, first thing, doesn't matter what you think about doing, you're going to be successful at whatever that is. And you just believe him because it's Coach D talking to you.
That ability to inspire continues on through each year with each new class of Cougars.
Coach has a special way about himself that when he speaks, you listen.
He's the type of coach that, okay, that's what you hang your hat on. You're going to use that not only because that's your strongest gift, but you're going to use that because that's how you're going to impact other people. And, taking what he taught me, that's what I'm trying to do here.
And there was a big bucket and had a few in the bottom. I said, that's you right there.
Donnelly centers his message as a coach and a man around the idea of filling your bucket.
That bucket represents your potential, but potential is an overrated word. You've got to fill it. You've got to do it with integrity. You've got to do it with trust, body language, effort.
You know how much you have in you, and a lot of people don't ever fill their bucket, and we were really focused on doing that, and I think that's one of the reasons why we were able to go to that championship in 2016.
The Cougars win a lot, and Donnelly enjoys every victory, but that's not the biggest perk of his career.
But the most rewarding thing for me is to see guys that have been part of the program that understood how to fill their bucket, maximize their potential, learn how to have more we than me, and what they're doing with their lives.
The legacy of any leader grows with the accomplishments of those who learned from him. Coach D knows he's had an impact on many lives, but some of these former Cougars wanted to let him know just exactly how much he's meant to them.
I think the biggest thing I would tell Donnelly would be, number one, I thank him for being genuine. I've learned that in this profession, education, coaching, a lot of people aren't genuine. There's a lot of egos attached in this profession. And I will say that Donnelly's a genuine man.
Thank you for keeping me out of trouble. Making sure I'm there 5 a.m. workouts. Holding me accountable, I think, is one of the most biggest things because we needed some senior leaders. Every year you got to have some. And luckily my senior year we had a lot. He puts his neck on the line for us, and I think we sure do that for him too.
Coach, thanks for believing in me. Thanks for helping me be more than I ever thought I could be in terms of my goals and dreams. Thank you for challenging me along the way. And just like all the other guys that have played for you, thanks for always having our back.
You mentioned that you can be like a father figure, but do you feel like a proud father
I
watching
do.
all these people?
I do. He's my little boy.
Any final thoughts what this means to you, to have these people out there doing such great things, such amazing things coming from here?
Sometimes you wonder if what you've done in your life is worth it. So, you get to the fourth quarter of your life, and you wonder, have it really been an impact? So that tells me, I guess it has.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com. Welcome back, everybody. Just 2 minutes away from the start of the second half, we're going to go over a few of the halftime statistics for you. Starting with the team statistics, Siena Heights with 11 first downs to 6 for St. Francis. The Saints 28 rushes for 121 yards. St. Francis 9 rushes for 112 yards. Siena Heights at 75 yards passing, 9 of 13. St. Francis 5 of 9 with 2 interceptions for 95 yards passing. Cougars outgaining Siena Heights 207 to 196. Siena Heights also running more than twice as many plays. St. Francis only 18 offensive plays, 41 for the Saints. The Saints are just owning time of possession in this game, 22 minutes to 8 for St. Francis. So Siena Heights really grinding it out here early on, getting 2 one-yard touchdowns by Jared Jordan, the big running back at 5'10", 210 pounds. Siena Heights had 2 kick returns for 51 yards. St. Francis 4 for 87 yards. Once again, the 2 interceptions by the Saints. One of those was by Trayvon Claiborne, the other by Nick Stallworth. Stallworth's interception came on the first play from scrimmage in this game. Martell Williams, 6 carries for 116 yards and a touchdown. Matt Crable, once again, 5 of 9 passing, 2 interceptions, 95 yards and a touchdown. His longest throw was for 47 yards. Rocky James, and that was a completion to Rocky James. Rocky, 2 catches for 57 yards. Rixie, 1 for 30 yards, and that was a touchdown. Casey Call, 1 for 5 yards. PJ Dean, 1 for 3 yards. Joe Nepper, 2 punts for 77 yards, averaging 38.5 yards per punt. Andrew McCormick leading the Cougars in tackles, 10 first half tackles for Andrew McCormick. Outstanding job by the redshirt freshman. And once again, out to kick it off for St. Francis will be Jack James. So Gavin Gardner doing the PAT attempts, but it's Jack James to kick it off. James, a redshirt freshman, 5'11", 211 pounds out of Snyder High School. The big boot. And they're going to call a fair catch there at the 7-yard line. I've never seen, you don't see that very often. That was 83, Davion Pipkins, freshman, wide receiver, 5'11", 170 from Ypsilanti, Michigan. And to fair catch that ball inside the 10-yard line on a kickoff is something you do not see very often. It's going to bring up 1st and 10
Ball will be placed at the 25-yard line.
at the 25, so look at a touchback. Guess I need to brushing up on my rules. It's Neck out of the shotgun with Jefferson right behind him. And the play clock dwindled down here on Siena Heights. So they're going to start the second half here with a penalty. Minus 5 yards brings up 1st and 15 from the 20. Once again, pistol alignment. Caleb Jefferson in the backfield. 2 wide receivers up top. Play action pass. Ethan Thur with the pressure. And scrambling to his right is Neck. He's going to pick up a few yards before getting hit out of bounds. And Kevion Evans going to be called with the personal foul. So that'll automatically bring up a 1st down for Siena Heights. Neck flushed out of the pockets, rolling to his right. Did a really good job of picking up a few yards and not losing any. And then with the late hit, he's going to pick up a 1st down. So a great job there by number 5, the redshirt sophomore quarterback. So the referee is going to spot the ball at about the 39-yard line. He'll bring up 1st and 10.
After the penalty,
Jefferson remains in. On the bottom of your screen, Austin Kreider along with Justin Carabino. Carabino with 2 receptions for 20 yards in the first half. It was the tight end, Xavier Stollard, leading the team with 3 receptions for 28 yards. Right on the wing is Carabino as Caleb Jefferson takes the handoff. Nick Lucas in on the stop, gain of about 2 yards. We'll bring up 2nd and 8 for your Cougars.
gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Middle linebackers Nick Lucas and Jamal Jackson for St. Francis. Now in the backfield, number 29, Andre Chenault. Chenault with just 1 carry for 7 yards in the first half. Neck looking to his left, looking for Kreider, goes off him, and nowhere to run. Finally being brought down by Kevion Evans. And that'll be no gain on the play. So Ethan Thur is going to check out of the game. Back in as James Jamisic, who's slowly working himself back into game shape. He's wearing the cowboy collar now, trying to prevent any more injuries. It's Mike Adams in at cornerback at the bottom of your screen, along with Ryan Johnson. Neck in the pocket, and that ball is going to be underthrown to the intended receiver, Ethan Lepresto, the running back. Rain is starting to come down a little bit harder here at Bishop Darcy Stadium, and the wind is picking up. The wind is blowing from left to right on your screen, so it's going to be right in the face of the punter, Caleb Meister. Back to return it will be Dan Rixey. Rixey 40 yards beyond the line of scrimmage here. We'll see if Meister can get it to him. And the spiral is going to bounce at the 22. Rixey right through his hands, and that's going to be a turnover picked up by Siena Heights at the 12-yard line. It's a slippery sucker out there, and Rixey probably should have just let that one go. Was looking to make something happen. Looks like number 6 to recover the fumble, Cody Burton, a redshirt sophomore. It's Marquise Robinson, actually, number 6, not Cody Burton, the other number 6. Marquise Robinson, DB redshirt junior, 5'7", 165. Tough play there for the Cougars. That ball had bounced at the 22-yard line, and was taking a massive hop for Siena Heights. Dan Rixey tried to pick it up around the 15-yard line and went right through his hands. So it's 1st and 10 at the 11. Caleb Jefferson offset right of Tyler Neck. Tied in to the right, that's big number 84. Caleb Jefferson bounces out to the right. He's going to be tackled by Jamal Jackson. Blake Schumacher also in on the tackle for USF. St. Francis ranked number 6 in the country. Siena Heights ranked number 18 in the country. For your Cougars, 3 of the last 4 games have been against top 25 opponents. And of course, Indiana Wesleyan now receiving votes. Folks, they are definitely a top 25 team, believe me. Handoff goes to Jordan. Jordan bounces out wide right. Jamal Jackson going to push him out. Right around the 3-yard line. Should be a gain of 3 yards on the play. Indiana Wesleyan quarterback Zach Blair leads the MSFA Mid-East in passing, averaging 225 yards per game. Tyler Kalka from Lawrence Tech is number 2 at 215 yards. Matt Crable comes in at number 3, averaging 192 yards passing per game. So it's 3rd and 3 from the 4. Handoff to Jordan. And he is met. He's going to fall forward to about the 1-yard line, maybe the half-yard line. Jordan, who had 9 carries for 13 yards in the first half, did have the 2 Siena Heights touchdowns. That'll bring up 3rd and goal. No, it's a 1st down, 1st and goal from the 1. Jordan, and he'll be tackled in the back. No, Neck. What a play by Tyler Neck. He faked out everybody for the 1-yard touchdown. So Tyler Neck fakes the handoff to Jordan, and there was nobody around the right side to take down the QB Tyler Neck, which makes the score 23-14. On to attempt the PAT, number 44, Anthony Secchi. And it's up, and it's good. So SHU takes the 24-14 lead over your Cougars. So this is shaping up to be another fantastic matchup here between these two teams. And really here at Bishop Darcy Stadium, the last 2 games here have been electric. Last week, the Cougars denying a 2-point conversion attempt inside 1 minute to play. And the week before, against Concordia, a blocked field goal attempt with, I think it was 17 seconds remaining. Matt Schwartz blocks the field goal attempt. It was scooped up by Jack Givens, who raced 73 yards to the house to break a tied game. So outstanding stuff here at Bishop Darcy. Some of the fans did not make it today because it's so rainy and cold, but that's okay. Temperature at 48 degrees and a constant rain here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We're about 20 to 25 minutes west of Ohio and 45 minutes south of Michigan. It's not a bad drive from Siena Heights to St. Francis. Secchi. This one going to be a low kick. Scoots on the turf, picked up by Adams. Adams over the 20, 25, and he fumbles it. And that looks like another, nope. Cougars maintain possession. I think that was number 39 for Siena Heights that scooped it up first. Andrew McGaughey, but he was out of bounds when he picked it up. Turnover has been the story here for St. Francis. USF now with 4 fumbles, only one of those lost, 0 fumbles for Siena Heights. Cougars also with 2 interceptions, Siena Heights with 0. Adams holding on to that. I think it's his left arm there. I'm not sure if he got a stinger on that hit. So the true freshman being helped off the field by the great Parkview Sports Medicine staff here at St. Francis. 3 fumbles for the Cougars, only 1 lost. Brings up 1st and 10 from the 35. Pistol alignment. Handoff goes to Williams. Williams bounces out left, following the block of Reese Roney, and he is met. Coming up with the big hit was number 7 for Siena Heights, Trenton Morrow. Morrow came up and lowered the boom after Williams was held up by the SHU teammate. Brings up 2nd and 9 from the 36. Casey Call on the right wing. On the bottom of your screen is Rocky James. Handoff once again to Williams, and he'll be met, maybe a gain of 1 yard. Making the tackle was number 1, Andrew Loria. Brings up 3rd and 8 now, ball at the 37. Siena Heights with a lot of momentum after that fumble by Rixey. And then the quick 6 by Tyler Neck on the QB keeper around the right side. That's Eli Wallace in the backfield with Crable looking downfield. Has his man Rocky James for a 1st down. Gain of about 14 yards on the play for Rocky James. That'll be his 3rd catch of the game. Now with 70 yards receiving. Brings up 1st and 10 from the 48, and that's the Siena Heights 48. Duke Black. Yes, sir. Jim Shovlin on the call here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Dan Rixey on the bottom of your screen. Duke Blackwell in the slot. Eli Wallace, and the handoff goes to him. He'll be met by the linebacker, number 11, Cole Merlin. Cole Merlin, who entering today leads Siena Heights with 72 tackles. It ranks him number 14 in the country. We have not called his name very often. Crable play action rolling out to the right, and nowhere to go with it as he'll throw it out of bounds. So catching that on the sidelines was number 53 for St. Francis. That's Cody Martin. Nope. No, that was Lazarus Miller, excuse me. Lazarus out of Elkhart, Indiana. True freshman defensive end. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 from the 46. P.J. Dean now into the game. Dean out in the flats. Crable on the out pattern, and that will not be caught by Rocky James. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 8. Nice timing pattern there. Crable delivered. Rocky just could not hold on to that one. That's his 2nd drop of the game. And once again, folks, it's a steady driving rain here. That ball, it's slippery. Into punt is Joe Nepper, and back to receive it will be Austin Kreider. Siena Heights getting adjusted here. Looks like they're going to look for the punt block. Dancing around is number 6. He will not be able to get in there. Nepper, as that ball is going to be caught at the 8-yard line. Kreider with a lot of confidence making that catch. He'll take it all the way up to the 19. He had Cougars all around him, and Kreider somehow found a seam and was able to pick up a gain of about 12 yards. That's going to bring up 1st and 10 here for the Saints. They're going to bring Jared Jordan back into the game here in the pistol alignment. Next, going to hand it off to Jordan. Dancing around in the backfield. He's brought down by Matt Schwartz. Also in on the stop is number 46, Ethan Thurr. Thurr's got a bright future here with the Cougars. And just below Thurr is Andrew McCormick, number 16. Second 8 from the 23. This time offset to the right is Caleb Jefferson, the starting running back at Siena Heights. Ten-point lead for the Saints. Wing back in motion, and it's going to go to number 84. He'll be knocked out by Ryan Johnson and Blake Schumacher. That was Xavier Stollard. Stollard, who was the leading receiver and still is for Siena Heights with 4 catches now in this game. Third is going to come off and James Jamasic back in for your Cougars. Kevion Evans on the bottom of your screen, the opposite defensive end. Nick Lucas at middle linebacker with Jamal Jackson. It's McCormick at the Sam linebacker position, just beyond James Jamasic on the top of your screen. Now the inside receiver will be Timothy Brown for Siena Heights. A little bit of confusion. We're going to have to call a timeout here from Bishop Darcy Stadium for Siena Heights. That'll be their first. 2 timeouts remaining. Would like to give a shout out to all the Cougar filmers today. We have Denise Blaine on the center camera. KG is doing the coach's cam up top. Mariah Nicholson is in the south end zone. Morgan Carroll is in the north end zone. And we got Barney doing the tight shot over in the south end zone complex as well. So 2 of those cameras are your coaches' cams, and the other 3 are what you're watching here on this broadcast. Not always fun in 40-degree weather out in the rain, but we got shelter. We're pretty much covered up, doing okay. 7:01 remaining in the third. Yesterday, excuse me, was the opening of postseason play for Indiana High School football. The 2 largest classes, 6A and 5A, had byes. It was 4A all the way through 1A getting kicked off. So here on 3rd and 5, next got Jefferson in the backfield with him. In motion, number 27, Lopresto. Schwartz flushes him out of the pocket, and that ball nearly picked off. Jack Givens there for the Cougars as they went to the man in motion. Ethan Lopresto, and that's a huge play. Jack Givens, the senior cornerback. Jack, along with Blake Schumacher and James Jamasic, all graduated together from Carroll High School. And then a year later, joining the team is Jordan Smelling. Jordan was a part of the 4x100 meter relay state championship team at Carroll that had Justin Becker on it. Becker is now setting records at Purdue University. That punt is going to fall out of bounds at about the 29. So there were some speedsters over there at Carroll High School just about 4 years ago. They're going to place that ball down at, I think, the 29-yard line. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 for Matt Crable and crew. And in the backfield's P.J. Dean. It's a pistol alignment. Dan Rixey on the bottom of your screen. Duke Blackwell, Rocky James up top. Handoff goes to P.J. Dean, following the block of Reese Roney. And not much happening there. Looks like a gain of about 1. Casey Call also providing the blocking. Reese Roney, the starting left tackle, just a junior. Last year, Nick Shoemaker, who's the right guard, he was all MSFA first team. Nick Shoemaker out of Avon, Indiana, Avon High School. Brings up 2nd and 9, ball at the 30. And offset to the right at Crable is P.J. Dean. Dean, a senior from Eastside High School. And right up the middle, that's Casey Call. Call retreating back, and he's going to lose about a yard. But still, that's a first down for your Cougars. A gain of 13 for Casey Call. Call, who wears number 81, won a state championship at Tri-West Hendricks High School out of Liston, Indiana. Casey goes 6'1", 221. 1st and 10 from the 43. That's Dean off to the right of Crable. Crable looking downfield. Rixey on the sideline, and just beyond the reach of Dan Rixey. Rixey being guarded by number 2, Trayvon Claiborne, who had the interception back in the second quarter. .5:33 remaining here in the third quarter. The final regular season home game for your Cougars. Number 91, Zendon Dellinger, now into the game for St. Francis at left tight end. 2 wide receivers on the bottom of your screen. That's Casey Call at the left wing. P.J. Dean following the block of Zendon Dellinger, and that's going to be a gain of about 12 yards. First down for the Cougs. Boy, that's the recipe right there. Hand it to P.J. Dean and follow Zendon Dellinger. Zendon Dellinger at left tight end and Casey Call at the left wingback position paved the way, along with Reese Roney, the left tackle, for P.J. Dean with a 12-yard gain. 1st and 10 now from the 45. Shotgun for Crable. Once again, the handoff goes to Dean, and a beautiful block by Casey Call. Dean's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. Should bring up 2nd and 6 from the 41. Casey Call did an outstanding job getting his body on the other side of the defensive lineman and just sealed the hole for P.J. Dean. So Call, who had the big reception about 2 plays earlier, they're making a huge block. 2nd and 6 from the 41. Rixey on the bottom of your screen. Duke Blackwell in the slot. Dean offset right to Crable. Play action. Matt Crable rolling to his right. He's going to keep it himself, and he'll slide down safely at about the 33-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 8 yards and a Cougar first down. Jim Shovlin is the best in the business when it comes to the PA mic. He also does the public address announcing for the Fort Wayne Mad Ants here in Fort Wayne out of the NBA G League. Inside 4 minutes to play, a 10-point advantage for Siena Heights. Pistol alignment with P.J. Dean in the backfield. Fake goes to Dean. Crable being flushed out of the pocket. Good block by Reese Roney. Pass intended for Duke Blackwell is incomplete. Boy, that was number 9 bearing down on Matt Crable. Nico Morasso, 6'1", 230-pound D lineman from Clinton Township, Michigan. He went to Chippewa Valley High School. Wonder if that's close to Central Michigan. Maybe. I remember when Dan Lefevre was the quarterback at Central Michigan, because I was living in Naperville, Illinois at the time, and Lefevre is from Downers Grove, Illinois. 2nd and 10 from the 33. Once again, P.J. Dean lined up right behind Crable. Dean is off and running. He's going to take it down to the 27. Dean wanted more. On the tackle was number 31, Nick Stallworth. Stallworth, who had the interception on the very first play from scrimmage for the Cougars back in the first quarter. Brings up 3rd and 4 from the 27. P.J. Dean is starting to heat up here for St. Francis. Dean offset left to Crable. Crable looking to his left and finds Dan Rixey. Rixey going to be drug out at the 18-yard line, a gain of 9 yards on the play, and another Cougar first down. Matt Crable is hitting his stride here on this drive. Yes, it does. P.J. Dean now says 4 carries for 23 yards, averaging 5.8 yards per carry. Dylan Hunley, Rocky James on the bottom of your screen. That's Nick Brickens into the game at the left wing. Look at Dean. As a defender was in the backfield, Dean just put on the brakes, stuttered, and was able to pick up about 3 yards. So P.J. Dean, who suffered a high ankle sprain in the game at Robert Morris, came back last week against Indiana Wesleyan, and now looks totally electric down on the turf. He was actually doing the same thing last week against Indiana Wesleyan. I think it's safe to say the senior P.J. Dean is healthy on 2nd and 7. Ball at the 16. This time the handoff goes Dean around the right side and cannot get away from the grasp of Cole Merlin. Merlin, just a sophomore and one of the best linebackers in the MSFA, which of course is the best conference in NAIA football. So that says a lot about Cole Merlin from Salina, Ohio. We'll look for him to be all MSFA first team this year if he keeps up the pace he's at. So on 3rd and 8 from the 17, offset left is Martell Williams, Dan Rixey in motion. We have trips up top. Crable looking in the way of Rixey, and now in the crossing pattern, but Crable going to be brought down for a sack by number 5, Wyatt Gardaki. A redshirt junior, 6'2", 270 pounds out of Taylor, Michigan. He went to Riverview High School, where the views are beautiful at Riverview. 4th and 10. This is a big down here. 2 wide receivers up top, 2 on the bottom. Martell to the left of Crable. Crable going to his 3rd progression, flushed out of the pocket, lofts it in the end zone for Zendon Dellinger, just about 2 yards out of bounds. But that is the right play right there. Zendon Dellinger at 6'7", folks. He's all. No, that was Casey Call, excuse me. Number 81, not 91. But Call also a big target for the Cougars. So that was 81, Casey Call. And it was just thrown about 2 yards to his left out of bounds. Brings up 1st and 10 from the 19. Neck out of the shotgun. In the backfield with him is Caleb Jefferson. Jefferson now in this game, 97 yards rushing on 16 attempts. Takes the handoff. He's met by Cade Irwin in the backfield, but gets out of that tackle. And finally brought down by Devin Green, number 45. River Walsh also in the area. Good work, though, by Devin Green, who's got his right hand taped up. And they're going to let the clock whittle down because we're heading to the 4th quarter. The 4s are in the air here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. St. Francis down by 10, 24-14. You're watching Cougar football here from Kevin Donnelly Field.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bishop Darcy Stadium. The Cougar Marching Pride doing a great job here in the rain that has not stopped since 11 a.m. 2nd and 3, ball at the 26 for Siena Heights. Caleb Jefferson in the backfield with Tyler Neck. Handoff goes to Jefferson. And boom, what a big play there in the backfield. Making the stop was Andrew McCormick. You can see when Andrew McCormick hits you, you go backwards. Such a great addition to this defense is number 16, Andrew McCormick. Devin Green now into the game at right defensive end for Kevion Evans. James Jamisic at left defensive end. Devin Green, who started off the season as a wingback, was expected to be a blocker, but the last 2 years spent at defensive end, so providing some good depth here in his senior season. Neck, and just falling to the turf was his tight end, Xavier Stollard. Stollard, who leads the team with 4 receptions, has 31 yards receiving and a long of 12. So that's going to bring up a punting situation, and back deep for St. Francis, Dan Rixey along with Dylan Hunley. Rixey, a senior out of Lafayette Jefferson High School, Lafayette, Indiana, and Dylan Hunley, a junior from Kendallville, Indiana, East Noble High School. The same high school as Andrew McCormick. It's number 25, Caleb Meister with the punt. And a fair catch going to be called by Rixey at the 33-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 34. That's Casey Call on the wing. Martell Williams to the right of Matt Crable out of the shotgun. The handoff goes to Williams. Williams doing a great job there as providing pressure in the backfield was number 5, Wyatt Gardaki. Cole Merlin in on the tackle for Siena Heights. It's going to be a gain of about a half a yard. We'll bring up 2nd and 9. Pistol alignment now. Casey Call on the right wing. Duke Blackwell, Rocky James on the bottom of your screen. Matt Crable rolling out right. Finds Call in the flats. That'll be a gain of about 5 yards. So that's going to bring up about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 here for your Cougars. Ball at the 38. Up top, Dan Rixey. 13:09 left on the clock. Cougars down by 10. Crossing pattern finds Rixey. Rixey 1-on-3. He'll be hit by number 12. Loss of forward progress has him right about the 39-yard line. Tackled by Griffin Sobel, the linebacker. That's going to be a 1st down to the 45. So a nice spot there by the referee crew. Pistol alignment here with Williams in the backfield. Handoff goes to Martell. Nice block following Casey Call and Reese Roney. That'll be a gain of about 7. Should bring up 2nd and short. Nico Moroso in on the tackle.
Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3 from the Saints 48-yard line.
24-14. For St. Francis, the last touchdown came with 3:36 remaining in the 2nd quarter, and that was a 30-yard pass, Matt Crable to Dan Rixey. Here in the MSFA Mid-East, The top rusher in the conference is Charles Salary. Salary, who had over 300 yards rushing last week in Marion's win against Concordia, averages 163 yards per game. For Marion, he ranks number 1 in the country, or in the MSFA, probably in the country. I'll have to double check. Caleb Jefferson of Siena Heights, number 2 in the conference, averaging 100.6. And Martell Williams for your Cougars ranks number 3 in the conference, averaging 88 yards per game. Braden Smith, the junior wide receiver for Indiana Wesleyan, averages 7.5 receptions per game. He has 591 receiving yards. Roderick Daly from Concordia averages 6.4 receiving or receptions per game with 565 yards on the season. And Dan Rixey comes in at number 3, averaging 5.2 receptions per game and 455 total yards on the season. Fake handoff to Williams, and they find that is Casey Call. Call with a gain of about 5 yards. Tackle by number 12, Griffin Sobel. Merlin also in the area. So it brings up 1st and 10, ball at the 44. Casey Call in at right tight end. Martell Williams offset right of Crable. Crable going to give it to Williams. Nice hole for Martell. Going to take it all the way to the 40 to the 41 to the 40-yard line. Be a gain of 3.5. Yeah, forward progress was stopped at the 41. So it brings up 2nd and 7. Big shout out to all the fans here at Bishop Darcy Stadium, braving the elements, cheering on their teams. Pistol alignment with PJ Dean behind Crable. Dean in the flats, and Dean just tweaked his ankle. That's a non-contact injury there. Not sure if it's the same ankle. He just kind of rolled it coming out of his stance. So he's going to be done for the game. We'll bring in Martell Williams again. Martell Williams, who started the season as the 3rd string running back behind P.J. Dean and Eli Wallace, is now RB1. Call back into the game. Brickens out. And they're going to take P.J. Dean to the trainer's room. Dylan Hundley in motion. We got trips up top. Martell Williams offset right at Crable. Crable looking in the middle of the field. He'll take off. He's got plenty of room to run. Crable gets past one defender, and he will, and that's a late hit. Personal foul coming up for Siena Heights. And that's going to go against number 10, Gabe Callery, the defensive back. Wow, folks, if this is not the Siena Heights game from a year ago, 42 seconds remaining, Matt Crable with his legs marched the Cougars down the field. Doing the same thing right there with the big gain by Crable. Looking at a gain of about 25 yards on the play for Matt. His best run of the game. Shotgun formation for Crable. In motion, Blackwell on the jet sweep. Takes the pitch. A beautiful block by Zendon Dellinger. All day, Dellinger just walled it off there for Blackwell to take it to the 11-yard line. That's a gain of 3 yards on the play. Zendon Dellinger did just such a great job walling off the defender. Dellinger at 6'7", 290 pounds. 2nd and 6 from the 10. Handoff to Williams. Busted out left. And he fumbles, and that's going to be recovered by Siena Heights. Martell Williams can now hold on to the rock. We'll see who comes up with it for Siena Heights. That'll be number 1, Andrew Loria. 9:05 remaining in a 10-point deficit. That one stings. For Williams, that's been a little bit of an issue this year, holding on to the rock. Lately, it has not been an issue, but early on in the year, a little bit it was. So 1st and 10 from the 13. And in the backfield now is going to be Jared Jordan. It's going to be run, run, run here for the Saints. Jordan takes the handoff, hit by Kevion Evans. Jordan falls forward for a gain of about 3 yards.
With help from 36, Ethan Third. Check 46, Ethan Third.
Second and 7 from the 16. Jordan once again here in the pistol formation. The tight end to the right-hand side is the leading receiver, Xavier Stollard. Stollard leading Siena Heights right now with 4 receptions for 31 yards. Jordan takes the handoff. Jordan was hit immediately by Nick Lucas, but still a gain of about put the ball at the 20. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. Big 3rd down here for the Cougar defense with 7:50 and counting on the clock. Once again, turnovers in the name of the game here for St. Francis. Neck out of the shotgun. Handoff goes to Jordan, and Jordan's got the 1st down. Tackled by Jalen Moss and Blake Schumacher. That was a gain of, I think, 7 yards, 6 or 7. Brings up 1st and 10 from the 26. Jared Jordan, 12 rushes, 19 yards. Handoff once again to Jordan, and they're just going to pound the ball. This one to the 30-yard line, a gain of 4. Yeah, Jordan now 15 rushes for 32 yards, a long of 6. But shoot, Siena Heights will take 6 yards all day. As we're hitting 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. A lot of excitement here from the Cougar defense has been shown, especially by Andrew McCormick. Ever since he took over the starter's position, Sean Roche, who went down with an injury last game, McCormick now the starting Sam Backer. He had 10 tackles in the 1st half and keeps adding to it. Jordan took the handoff there and was wrestled down by number 92, Miles McClendon. Lucas, who had 9 tackles in the 1st half. Time of possession has been heavily in favor of Siena Heights in this game, which is exactly what they wanted with their stout defense. Once again, SHU entering today with the number 1 ranked defense in the country, giving up just 8.3 points per game. They also have the number 6 ranked rushing defense in the country. Jordan this time taken down by Blake Schumacher, but another 1st down. Rain's picking up even more here at Darcy Stadium. First and 10 from the 38. Jordan now 18 carries for 44 yards. Siena Heights just whittling this clock down with the big man, Jared Jordan, once again on the carry. That looks like a gain of about 3 yards. Should bring up 2nd and 7.
Also in on tackle 35, Nick Lucas.
To your linebackers right now, Nick Lucas, Jamal Jackson, along with Andrew McCormick. Safeties, Jalen Moss, Blake Schumacher. Cornerbacks, Ryan Johnson and Jack Givens. You got Kevion Evans, Matt Schwartz, Miles McClendon, and Ethan Thur on the defensive line. So Siena Heights and Coach Matt Cohn going to take a timeout here. 24-14, inside 4 minutes left to play. Martell Williams leads the Cougars with 126 yards rushing, his 3rd straight game of over 100 yards rushing. On 13 attempts, he's averaging 9.7 yards per carry with that 98-yard touchdown run. PJ Dean, who had to leave the game with an ankle injury, has 6 carries for 25 yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. Caleb Jefferson, 18 carries, 105 yards, averaging 5.8 yards per carry. Tyler Neck, the starting quarterback for SHU, has completed 10 of 17 passes for 78 yards, averaging 4.6 yards per pass. Matt Crable for your Cougars, 12 of 21 with 2 interceptions, 140 yards, averaging 6.7 yards per, and has 1 touchdown. That was the 30-yarder to Dan Rixey. 2nd down and 7, ball at the 41. 3:57 on the clock. Cougars need a stop here as they hand it off to Jordan. Jordan met at the line of scrimmage, is going to spin forward for another yard. Jalen Moss in on the stop. Jack Givens also in there. So James Jamisic re-enters for the Cougars. Jamisic, after suffering that neck injury in the Concordia game, does not have a sack on the year. Or excuse me, since that injury. Obviously he did not play last week and has played sparingly in this game. But entering today with 7.5 sacks on the season, ranks him number 4 in NAIA. Handoff goes to Jefferson. Schwartz there with the stop. Also Jalen Moss. What a game by the defensive lineman, Matt Schwartz. Matt, once again, was the one who had the blocked field goal against Concordia that was scooped up by Givens, secured the win for St. Francis. So Siena Heights going to come out and punt it. They'll whittle off another 12 seconds here. But what a great job on that drive, eating up at least 6 minutes. Punt's going to be fair caught by Rixey. And no flag going to be thrown there, as that was Cole Merlin right in the space of Rixey. They'll bring up 1st and 10. First and 10, ball at the 18. So 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. Cougs need to get 6 real quick, and then the onside kick attempt. It's Eli Wallace in the backfield. Casey Call on the right wing. Crable looking downfield. We'll see if he takes off. He will with his feet. That'll be a gain of about 9 yards. Wyatt Gardaki in on the stop, number 5 for Siena Heights. Brings up 2nd and 2 on the 8-yard gain, ball to 26. Wallace offset left of Crable. 2 wide receivers up top, 2 on the bottom of your screen. Crable eludes the pressure, looking for Rixey. Just beyond the outstretched hand, defended by number 20, the defensive back Crawford, and number 10, Gabe Callery. Crawford, number 20, a redshirt freshman at 6'2", 175. They got some big defensive backs on this squad at Siena Heights. Brings up 3rd and 2. Wallace offset left, in motion, Dan Rixey. Low snap, good job by Crable corralling it. Crable rolling out to his right, being pressured by number 80, but will pick up the first down. That was not number 80, that was number 90, Jacob Lederman. 6'3", 280 pounds. But that'll bring up 1st and 10 at the 29. Crable doing a good job getting out of bounds there with 1:41 remaining in the 4th quarter. Wallace now to the right of Crable, looks downfield, once again getting pressured out of the pocket, this time is sacked by number 31, Nick Stallworth. And a timeout going to be called by the Cougars. Once again, Nick Stallworth, who started off this game with an interception, closed quickly there as Crable was flushed out of the pocket. Stallworth came up and made the stop. A loss of 3 yards on the play will bring up 2nd and 13 after this timeout. There's no letting up with this rain, and the fans still in their seats here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. They remember what happened last year and last week and the week before that. You can't leave early when you come to Bishop Darcy. But now down by 10, 24-14. Siena Heights, who entering today with a 6-1 record. This is their 4th highest scoring output on the season. They scored 63 points against Trinity International, 42 against Taylor, and 41 against Lawrence Tech, and now 24 points today. Against Concordia, they won it 10-7, scoring a touchdown in the last minute of the game. Crable, once again flushed out, and looking for Rixey, picks it up off the turf. They will call that incomplete with 1:28 remaining. It's now 3rd down and 13 from the 26. Eli Wallace. We have not seen Martell Williams. I'm not sure if he got injured that we didn't see. Crable on the timing pattern, the out pass right at the first down marker. That was great coverage by number 20. Corice Crawford, who's been having a good game for the redshirt freshman. Siena Heights, they are getting pumped up here with 1:23 remaining, thinking they're going to have their 2nd win in this series, as the series will go to 6-2 in favor of St. Francis. This would be the first win for Siena Heights at Bishop Darcy Stadium since 2014. Crable once again flushed out of the pocket, and we got a penalty flag going to be thrown. Crable looking for every yard he can get. He's going to be stopped short after a gain of about 12 yards. So the defense is going to come out onto the field. Back in 2014, it was Siena Heights winning at 27-21 in the third ever meeting between the two teams. And St. Francis, after winning 4 in a row, including the 22-19 overtime thriller last year, it's looking like the Cougars are going to fall to 5-2 on the season with just 113 remaining and only one timeout left. So Siena Heights and Neck will be in the victory formation. That's going to do it, folks. Siena Heights going to pull off the upset, ranked number 18 in the country. They'll win it 24-14 over the number 6 ranked University of St. Francis Cougars. In this game, Caleb Jefferson with 107 yards rushing on 19 carries. It was Jared Jordan with 2 touchdowns. He had 20 carries for 48 yards. Tyler Neck had the 1 touchdown, 5 carries, 16 yards. That was a QB keeper around the right side. Neck was 10 of 17 for 78 yards, and his leading receiver was Xavier Stollard, 4 receptions for 31 yards. For St. Francis, Martell Williams with 13 carries for 126 yards, averaging 9.7 per carry with a touchdown. Matt Crable, your quarterback, 12 of 24, 2 interceptions, 140 yards passing with 1 touchdown. He had a long of 47. That was a completion to Rocky James. Rocky led the team in receiving, 3 receptions for 72 yards. Dan Rixey with 3 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. Casey Call, 4 receptions for 26 yards. Well, the Cougars will be on the road for the next 2 games. Up next is going to be at Lawrence Tech next Saturday, 12 p.m. kickoff. And then on November the 9th, the following Saturday, we will be at Taylor for a 1 p.m. kickoff. Folks, my name is Jeff Mahoney on behalf of the Cougar filming crew and Daniel Beals, our producer for today's game. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Once again, it's Siena Heights winning it 24-14 in an upset victory over your number 6 ranked University of St. Francis. Siena Heights ranked number 18 in the country. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels.
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action. Get mad about blue.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, wings and pork tenderloins and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where